This morning the guys on Imagination are leaving. They helped me out with making water for me. They got a water maker on board and they're on their way to New Zealand. There's a fine looking green machine.
Alright, Barry, keep it dead.
You take care, have a safe journey.
Take care.
I'll see you down there.
Alright, now. Safe travel.
Alright, I'll join you for a beer in New Zealand.
Hey.
Yay! One out, one in. Imagination has just gone and they just passed Hdr-as, which are on the way in here. And they've arrived just in time for a squall. Hdr-as, white shadow. Speaking to me, it's raining. They just arrived in the middle of a squall. In fact, it's just started raining heavily now. They're not answering the radio, so I guess they're I was going to direct them to an anchoring site. Hdr-as, white shadow. Yeah, I've just been talking to them on the radio. It's always nice, and they've done it for me when you arrive somewhere, if somebody can just sort of point them in the right direction for a good anchorage. So they're doing what I kind of said, is to avoid this boat next to me, because they've got their anchor really far out in front, and they've gone over there behind another boat, and they're going to drop there and fall back. And it's reasonably shallow there, it's nice.
Having got them sorted out with a decent anchorage, it was time for beer.
Yes, look at that.
Are you showing me? Thank you. It's your cheese. Thank you.
Yes, they've got bacon here, and I was just getting some ready and thought I'd throw the fat over the side when this happened. They're down there. Watch this. They didn't see it. Oh, no way. Yeah, come on, guys. No. Here they go. This is my second helping of bacon and eggs. That's because it's been a year since I ate bacon. Can you believe that? One of the nice things about my lifestyle is meeting people. Met this guy and his houseplant on the ferry going over to the mainland. He was going back to the United States and was wondering if he could get that through customs. Well, good luck to him. Meantime, somebody told me that was a fish and chip shop ashore. Found these ladies in this wonderful kiosk actually making fish and chips. So of course the old Seadog had to stop for some. I didn't film it because I was in raptures of delight over this. Yeah, baby. Walking past the customs dock, which I'd already been to, these guys were coming in and there was no one around to help them. That's another cruisery thing. You just help people. When you see people need help, you just go over. What goes round comes round kind of thing. These guys were actually from New Zealand, so it was nice to talk to them. I told them I was going to put them on my channel, so there you go, guys. It's been a few weeks since we did this. Yeah, nice boat. They'd come a fair old way, and they were on their way back home.
I didn't make any money out of that. We'll see how many likes you get on YouTube. This is really interesting. I think they used them in the old days for boiling up whale blubber. I don't know if the tree's grown through it or they put it on here, I don't know, but it's old. I'm still at the anchorage known as Big Mama's here in Tonga. It has its own island, and I've been here 2 weeks and I haven't been around it yet. So today the sun is shining, the weather's good, so I thought I'd take myself and you, and we're going to explore to see what's around the corner. Going to walk right around the island. It's only small, it's not asking a lot really.
This part of the world suffers from bad weather. Certain times of the year you can get a lot of cyclones coming through. Hence all the wrecks. As well as the beautiful sandy beaches that surround the islands, there was this. Looked to me like discarded mussel cells. They were everywhere. Another thing I noticed is that the beach is quite flat. The whole island isn't that much higher than the average sea level around here, and as you can see, this is like a floodplain. When the high tide seas come into here, it floods into the inner part of the island and poisons some of the growth.
Quite an eerie landscape, like a dead zone in the middle of the jungle.
You might have heard of the term desert island. Well, this certainly is a desert island, at least in the middle of it anyway. Nothing grows there. Further on my trip around the island, I found more evidence of seawater working its way into the middle of the island. These are mangroves. They can thrive in seawater.
It's just what I've always dreamed of. My own deserted island and a place to sit.
All this beauty hides the fact that it is in fact a hard place to live, especially back in the day. There's no fresh water on these islands. Everything has to be brought in. These days, however, with modern technology, there are lots of little places you see where people are living in what to us is an idyllic situation. These were cool. This plant was actually singing in the wind, almost like a tune. It's whistling. But unfortunately it didn't pick up on the microphone, so I can just tell you about it and you can't hear them. This is something I hadn't seen before. Lots of palm trees all over the place. But this was a little unusual. This is what the bottom of a palm tree normally looks like, especially when it's old. And this is one where the palm tree is actually gone. Just the base. It's like a bone, a ball and socket joint. Never seen that before. A lot of these islands, including this scene, looks a little prehistoric. That's because it is. This has taken us back to the early days of this area of the world. There's foliage, topsoil, sand and so on here. But if you strip that away, underneath is this, volcanic rock. Tonga is part of a large area of the Pacific that is highly volcanic, was and still is. So if you strip off the topsoil, you get volcanic rock, and then you get new life like this clinging to the surface. It's like a history lesson as you're walking along.
You can see Shady just in the distance there, just on the last stretch, and came across this beautiful little place here. That could be my home. I'd love that.
The island is actually owned by the Crown, or at least the government, as it is these days, and is leased to a family, and the family that has it has had it for generations, and is currently run by a matriarch known as Big Mama. Most of Tonga, at least the parts that I saw, were not rich. People lived very simply. But it's warm, people are friendly, and I kind of like that. Life is quite simple. You work, you feed your family, and you take it easy. And this is, to my mind, paradise. Okay, well, let's be truthful. The fact is that they had a bar. They served beer and burgers. Paradise, as I said. And what else do you do on a hot day after walking around an island? You find yourself a little rock pool and you chill.
I love my fans. These fans in particular. On a hot day like today, they're essential for keeping cool on the boat. But how can you tell when they start to get a little bit bad? Well, if I plug this one in, you can hear that bearing. The next thing, it'll seize up and start smoking. And it gets quite hot as well after it's been running a while. So to compare this one to the new one, you'll see what I mean. It's also a lot shinier than the old one. Looking forward to getting to New Zealand, but the weather is still bad down there. So myself and plenty of other cruisers, lots of boats out there, all waiting for the weather to improve. But I'm looking forward to getting down there and doing the much needed maintenance on this boat, which, as you well know by now, needs to get done. At least I can get things down there, including things like locks for the doors, like the one behind me here. I couldn't even get one in England to fit, especially made stainless steel. Hopefully down in New Zealand we can get that stuff, so I'm looking forward to it. I just really want to get a move on.
Decided to go ashore, take a little break from the boat, to a cafe that I'd seen where they do nice coffees, but ended up sharing the afternoon with this chicken. Well, a hen and a chicken, I suppose. Yeah, don't stay here, mate. You'll probably end up on the menu. The anchorage at Big Mama's seemed to be in perpetual wind. It never seemed to stop, so I had to time it to do work on the sails. It's work that needed doing, but obviously I didn't want to run them up in a wind. Here's the inner forestay, the staysail. That's a hank-on sail. You can see me hanking them on there. Just checking those because some of those were seizing up and I had to get those free. Another reason for this job is that I wanted to change the staysails around. The one I originally had up was a little bit big for the windy conditions in Tonga. This one is called a Yankee and it's a higher cut sail. You can see the foot there in my right hand. When it's fully up, it rides quite high above the deck. Just can't believe the weather today. Just look at it. Absolutely calm. Just a gentle breeze, which brings me on to my next job. And here it is. I was literally putting the sail away and pulling the back of it to get it straight, to fold it up, and that ripped straight through. Look at that. The material is actually completely rotten. If you're just pulling on the sail like that and it rips like this, that means it's had its day, but it needs to do another 1,000 miles to get me to New Zealand. So it's out with the sewing box. Also, friends of mine have given me this, which is a sail repair tape kind of thing. I've never used it before, but I'm going to stitch her up and then I'm going to put some of this on the top here and hope that will hold it. How much of this I actually get done today is another matter. I should really start in the cool of the morning. I should put my diving gear on, really go clean the bottom of the boat today. It's so warm, but we'll have a go at this now. First thing, I'm going to put some stitches in both ends to stop that going any further. Wow, I was alone here when I first anchored. Now there's boats coming all the time. There was nothing around me for a while because I anchored out from everybody else, but there's boats aplenty now. Yeah, these guys are anchoring, and that guy there as well. He's having to wait now till this guy gets his anchor down. These guys are really close to me in front. In fact, I remember that boat from Portocin in Spain 2 years ago or more. And then I have two more boats directly in front of me.
depending on which way the wind blows. These guys from Finland got a really good spot. They managed to get in fairly shallow water but safely. They're anchored near the beach in, I think, 6 meters, he said. But I was right about the sail. The sun's just reflecting off the sailcloth. I put a few stitches in and that'll have to do till tomorrow morning. It's getting towards beer o'clock and the bar beckons. I think it's going to be a good night tonight. There's a lot of new people in the anchorage. These guys will be okay until they get a wake off that guy. Attack. Tonga and its surrounding islands are on a fault. No, I don't know. Tonga and its surrounding islands are all volcanic. Still lying now. Are setting up volcanic things going on. Oh shit.